Igbo groups in US decry IGP's kill them all order to police in Southeast. Igbo groups in in the United States, Sunday condemned the reported shoot-at-sight order issued by the IGP against Igbo youths. The groups, the Coordination of World Igbo Congress, WIC, Igbo World Assembly, IWA, and Nzuko Umuna, also said they were abreast of the worsening security challenges in Nigeria and how terrorism, killer herdsmen, and banditry that hitherto were in some parts of the north were taking their tolls on the southern part of the country. However, they expressed concerns on the posture of the federal government and response by the law enforcement agents to this situation. According to them, in a release made available to the Whistler, the utterances from the presidency, government, and law enforcement officials were laced with the desire to turn the region into a war zone. The worst-case scenario was the latest comment credited to the Inspector General of Police, Usman Akali Baba. The statements jointly signed by Professor Anthony Ejiofor, Chairman, World Igbo Congress, Dr. Ķ′֗ŁɁ, all these people, and they quoted the IGP to have said, "If anyone accuses you of human rights violation, the report will come to my table, and you know what I will do. So take the battle to them wherever they are and kill them all. Don't wait for an order." This statement, if true, is a call for genocide, extrajudicial killings, and human rights violations against people of the Southeast and South-South regions. Not only are we shocked that the IGP Baba did not deny or disassociate himself from such statement, we are equally surprised that the presidency failed to call him to order and reassure the people of the zones who are already traumatized by such order that this is not the case. We want to believe that this is not a state policy to designate the old eastern region as an occupied territory since the end of the Biafra Nigerian Civil War. Igbo in their diaspora condemned the shoot-at-sight order given by the IG of police and the military chiefs as part of their rule of engagement, which violates the Geneva Convention on Laws Protecting Civilians in Conflict. Igbo in the United States have commenced actions to hold the police chief to account and the commander-in-chief of the armed forces for declaration of war on citizens of Nigeria, particularly in the southeast and south-south regions. We want to bring the attention of the IGP, service chiefs, and presidency that the international conventions and international rules are not being followed in the latest rules of engagement for their operations in Igbo land, and therefore constitute acts or intend to commit genocide. We urge the Nigerian government to explore dialogue as an avenue to lasting peace in the regions and not a military-era shoot-at-sight order. We are asking the government to engage with the people and the leaders of these regions to assuage their grievances, which borders on marginalization and systemic discrimination. We are also using this opportunity to inform the international community and human rights organizations that if the government and law enforcement agents continue with the bloodletting, then President Muhammadu Buhari and his service chiefs will have cases to answer at the International Criminal Court. We call on the federal government to embrace the 12-point agenda adopted by the governors of the southern Nigeria, especially on restructuring state policing and ban on open grazing of livestock. That's it. To be honest, this is a very well, compiled, very diplomatic letter. I think that in a way they sort of use the International Criminal Court and all that as sort of not a threat, but sort of like their backing. The fact is, it won't work. At the end of the day, you trying to reclaim your land back absolutely is your prerogative, and you must do that for you to actually exercise your freedom and autonomy over your resources. Absolutely. The fact just remains that what is going to happen at the end of the day, there has to be joint effort from Nigerians, as in a whole revolution, which you can say really starts from the mind. Because again, with the International Criminal Court, it doesn't do anything. We have a government that defends somebody like Pantami. If you don't know who Pantami is, do your research. Minister of Technology and Communications, whatever, who was pushing for this NIN thing where there's an identification number to your phone, in which we're thinking, what's their plan with that? Are they trying to get a database? Not knowing that this man actually has relations or has said, sort of, they call him a terrorist sympathizer in terms of looking at dictators and history and not necessarily good men, looking at these leaders and basically sort of commending them for what they did. And, because he has links and actually, yeah, he has links and there was more proof about communications or whatever, because he has links to that. And of course, he's the same person pushing for identification of phone numbers and, devices in the country. Of course, Nigerians were panicking, like, is he giving information to third parties we do not know about, especially terrorist organizations? So again, we had the government defend him and said he was young. Bear in mind, he said such statements when he was like 33, and there's even more proof, sufficient evidence to prove that this man has terrorist links. But no one says anything. With the NSAS protest, oh wow, it was a big thing. I mean, kudos to Nigerians. We made this worldwide news. And we used the International Criminal Court and that as leverage in terms of signing petitions, doing all that. Yet nothing happened. Again, there's only so much third parties. There's only so much they can do, to be very honest. All they can do is disassociate and condemn. But then in terms of having autonomy over a nation and saying you do this and do that, it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. And they've proven to us that they do not care. And also, I think in this letter, there's so much grace given to the IGP, because it's like they said, if I can go back, it says it was shameful. It says, not only are we shocked that the IGP Baba did not deny and disassociate himself from such statement, we are equally surprised that the presidency failed to call him to order. Like, it's just contradictory. First of all, why would he deny and disassociate himself when he has the backing of the president? To be honest, it's like it's even good he's been open about this. At least we know what we're working with. And of course, expecting the government to call him out on that when there's bigger issues going on, no. So obviously, it's a lot. But this is our country. This is what we're going through. And yeah, it's a very good letter, I'm not gonna lie. It's a very good letter, very diplomatic. But in terms of much change, I don't know if that's gonna happen. But again, it's a bit confident for this man who was just put in there like how many months ago, basically the beginning of this year, and now he's giving orders where you kill at sight. Well, excuse me. Well, it's the government that they're in, and of course they have their backing. Put what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe.